Yesterday, I played in a $50,000 Squad Busters tournament. And this was a scary one because I was against some of the top players in the entire world. But today is a good day, for I finished in first place. Yes, I managed to win the entire $50,000 tournament. And I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who believed in me. But first, we're going to recap the entire event. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions. And, well, what do I plan to spend the money on? So, this tournament was for $50,000 and it was split between the top 10 players. So, essentially, this is how it works. So, there are 2 lobbies and there are 10 players in each lobby. The top 5 players in each lobby will then advance to the finals. And if you get into the finals, you win money. So, how did I do? Well, let's start off with lobby 1. I was not playing in this lobby. I was in lobby 2. But in lobby 1, we had a bunch of YouTubers such as Ashlyn, Bailey's dad, Ben Tim 1, Chisgule. I mean, this was a lobby stacked with some of the top players in the entire world. And the way it would work is you would play exactly 7 games. And then after 7 games, all the gems that you collected would get tallied. And the top 5 players with the most gems would advance to the finals. Now, in this first lobby, Chisgule pretty much dominated it. I mean, he got first place. So, GG's to Chisgule. Some other players, though, managed to make it as well, such as Exter, Pat, Renzai, and Cori. They also qualified as well. Now, with that out the way, it is time for lobby 2. And I had some really good players in my lobby. I had Juicy J, who is a really good player at Squad Busters and Clash Royale. I had Viatrix, who was the #1 guy in the US last season. And we had a bunch of other good players as well. Anyways, I won't really bore you with this because the most interesting information is the actual finals. All you need to know is I won. In fact, I got first place. Anyways, with that out the way, it was now time for the final. This was it. $50,000 on the line. The better I do, the more money that I win. And how did I do? Well, let's find out. So, final times. And oh boy, did we run into some amazing games, but also some serious problems. So, to win the finals, this worked a little bit differently. Rather than playing 7 games, you actually had to get to 6,000 gems. Now, for the very first game of the tournament, we were playing on doppelgangers and monster pets. Now, I'm pretty good at doppelgangers. It's kind of one of my favorite modes in the game. So, I was very confident that I was going to do well here. And well, I was right, because we managed to walk away with the 3rd place win in our very first game, with only being 4 gems behind 2nd place. So, very good performance. Now, I'm not going to bore you with every game in this tournament. I'm just going to give you guys the main ones. Anyways, with me now in 3rd place, I then went on to the 2nd game. Now, this game was by far my best performance in the entire event. And I played this to perfection. And when I mean perfection, I mean it. So this 2nd game was 1 coin chess. Now, I usually don't do too well in 1 coin chess, so I'm a little bit surprised that I did this well. And I had a plan here. It was traders, traders, and traders. Anyways, this was the craziest game of the entire tournament because not only did I get first place, but I managed to walk away with 1,157 gems. And if you include the bonus that you get for winning the game, that was 1,357 gems. So in a lobby filled with the best players in the world, this was a really, really big deal. And this pretty much meant I won the tournament. But wait, one of the guys crashed. In this game, somebody had a little error out of their control, but they crashed. And that meant that entire game didn't count. Now, obviously, I was very angry. And you could probably see here with some Discord messages, I was very upset with the fact that that game got stolen. Because if I lost the tournament, it would have been because of that game. But it is what it is. We keep moving. And on to the next game, we also had a pretty good performance. So in the next game, we managed to get first place. And I got 125 gems. But it wasn't a big gap between me and 2nd place. So it's not as good as the last game, but still an amazing performance. Now, I'm going to be honest. After that game, I started to feel a little bit bad about losing the 1.3k gem game. And it started to sink in how bad of a deal that was. So for the next few games, I started doing a little bit worse. Kind of got a little bit upset. But eventually, I realized I had to focus. Forget about the fact that I lost 1.357k gem. It is what it is. And we locked back in. Anyways, after overcoming that hurdle, we then managed to get a bunch of top 3 place wins. And we also managed to get a couple first place wins. In fact, one of the games I got first place in was Baby Battles. Let him cook! Let him cook! Good. Anyways, around halfway into the tournament, I started to realize a pattern. So, this is how everyone did in the last game. Notice a pattern. Everybody with keys did well. Everybody without keys, apart from me, did bad. Now, this was a problem because anybody in bottom 5 would get a bunch of keys, get to top 5, then do badly without keys, get back to bottom 5. And this isn't a joke because you can use 2 epic keys and a fusion key. So you can imagine some players were running around with 2 fused barbarian kings before I even got an epic in the game. Anyways, you get the point. I had to be super careful about staying out of the way of the really pay to win players so I could still win the event. Anyways, we kept playing a bunch of games after that, and then we got into a position where there were only really 3 players in the top 3. Me, Viatrix, and Juicy J. Now, we all had pretty similar gems, but something pretty magical happened in the third to last game. And I managed to pull a serious good game out of the bag. And this next game was Golem Meteors and Ring Grab. Now, essentially doing well in this game for me, Viatrex, or Juicy J would be the difference between getting first place and not getting first place. Now, I started off the game by getting a Goblin, getting a few boxes, and then taking some gems from the Golem. I then got a Battle Healer, which was really lucky to get, because as you know, bottom 5 get 2 epic keys and a fusion epic key. So getting an epic of my own early on is pretty good. Now, for the rest of the game, I had a plan, and it was get a bunch of fused Ice Wizards. For players who don't know, the Ice Wizard's Ice Spike ability is stupidly broken and can wipe out squad in like one shot. And I assume you guys probably have guessed by now, that's exactly what happened. Shush! Shush! So yeah, I pretty much wiped out the entirety of Viatrex's squad. I took all of his gems, I took his ring, and that gave me a nasty 728 gems game. Now at this point, I was 7 gems ahead of second place in the tournament. So the 2 casters of the tournament, these are the guys in between games who say this is what went well, this is what went bad. They kind of made it clear that everybody had to target me, otherwise I would win the entire tournament. So this is when I initiated mission Do Not Die. Now you guys need to know one important thing about this game, and that is you get gems for being in 10th place. So for this next game, all I had to do was collect 116 gems, finish in 10th place, get an extra 100 gems, and win the tournament. So the last game was Monster Pets, and oh boy, did I mind my own business. I made sure I kept selecting chickens, that way I could always run away from other players. I also made sure I was walking around the map and not running. I really wanted 0 risks, so I just farmed, I got a bunch of chickens, nobody could ever chase me, I stayed out of everybody's way. Whenever I saw someone, I had way too much speed, they could do nothing about it. And after that game, I managed to win the entire tournament. If this number says 217, I won $15,000. Oh, we won $15,000! I won. So that brings us up to now. We won, and we didn't use a single key in the entire tournament, which I'm actually really proud of. So we got first place, Viatrex got second, Juicy J got third, Sam got fourth, Cori got fifth, Chisgule got sixth, Renzai got seventh, Exter got eighth, Power got ninth, and Pat ended in 10th. What would have happened if that game where I got 1,357 gems counted? So I did the maths, and if that game counted, well, this would have been the results. And I would have gotten first place with 6,052 gems. Juicy J would have gotten second place. There was already quite a big gap between me and Viatrex of about 500, but this is an even bigger gap. Renzai would have gotten third, Viatrex fourth, Sam fifth, Pat sixth, Cori seventh, Chisgule would have gotten eighth, Power ninth, and Exter would have gotten 10th. So I feel like the 2 people that probably got scammed the most here was Juicy J and Renzai, because Renzai finished in 7th. He would have finished in 3rd if that game counted. Juicy J would have finished in 2nd if that game counted, not 3rd. I will be returning to daily uploads from tomorrow as well, so don't worry about that. We're back on the YouTube grind. I do plan to grind leaderboards a lot next season as well in the game. I kind of want to finish top 10 in the world. And I will be doing a Brawl Stars video eventually. People keep asking me to do that, so that will happen as well. So I think the big question everybody has is, what am I spending $15,000 on? And, well, I have the answer to you for that.